Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Mystic Moons. I was giving my petunias a little bit of a wash. I put them in the shower, and then these flowers were so delicate that they fell off. Of course, I still have flowers, but over there. I still have flowers, but it's a little bit of a shame that these fell off. I'm hoping my cat won't drink the water and go, oh, this is floral infused sippy water. Thank you for the heart. So yes, we're here to go and take a little peek, a little of what we were going to check out earlier. Love, spring love. We're in springtime. The year is moving forward. Anything coming our way in terms of love. If you appreciate my time, do let me know. Do give me a thumbs up. You can also check out the reading that I did a little earlier today if you have any placements in fire or water. And because I started off with fire and water, I'm actually going to skip straight to through one second. One moment. I'm going to all these distractions. Well, it's alive, right? It's live, it's ad-libbed. Well, not ad-libbed, it is ad-libbed. Yeah, there's no script here. Never is. Maybe things would be cleaner and more organized if it was a script, but this is about really sensing the energy of now. And what's there? Hello, Elsa. Hello. I won't be time-stamping these readings if you're watching it after the fact, because on a mobile phone, it really is hard to go and do that as opposed to if I did it on a desktop. But you can go and definitely skip around. I will be listing the order in which all the signs are read. I'll go back afterwards and edit the title. I will also put it in the description. And if you're watching it in chat, when I'm done, I'll list it in there. So those are 3 areas you can check out. We are going to start off with, let's start off with Earth. We're going to start off with Earth signs. We'll switch to air. We'll do water, and then we'll do fire. And as I said before, if you have any water or fire signs, and if you're really interested in love, you can check them out twice, because I did check out the description, because I did some readings earlier. But this is going to be a slightly different format. Let's see. Anything else I want to say? These collectives primarily are going to be your sun sign and your Venus sign. You can also consider your moon sign and your rising sign, and depending upon your natal chart, take a look in your chart, think how you feel, whatever. If you feel it's applicable, you could check out your Jupiter, your Juno, and your 7th house. Okay, so all those are sort of love, romance, relationship type placements, right? So you can consider those as well, but primarily for love readings, it's going to be your sun and your Venus. I said we were going to start off with Earth, right? Earth, air, water, fire. Yeah, I think that's it. And of course, if you are interested in other love readings that have been done, you can just put a search on my channel for love, or also Valentine's Day as well, or just put in the title of my channel and search in love, and they'll pop up. They'll pop up all the other Mystic Moon collective readings of all the other channels as well. But I think you can narrow it down or go with whatever you feel, right? I purposely got a generic name to blend in with the crowd. So, c'est la vie, whatever. Shall we get started? I think so. Yes, if anyone has any personal questions, as this is a collective reading, I'm going to be focusing on the collective first. So if you do have any personal reading questions, you can, I will be available after I do that, which will probably be about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, so you can come back later. Or you can also email me, okay? Let's see, shall we start? I have my little happy plant here to give me some energy. Hello. Hello, Mars. And it's so happy. Everyone put out new growth. This is new. That's new in the last 2 days. This is new. And I have a little baby bud forming right here. So I have plant love. We have spring love time. Let's go and find out what's on the horizon, what's coming in. First sign we're going to start off with will be Capricorn. That would be a Capricorn sun, a Capricorn Venus, a Capricorn moon, a Capricorn rising, and if you feel it, a Capricorn Juno, a Capricorn, what is it called? Jupiter. You get the idea, but we're going to stick to those 4, okay? So Capricorn, what's coming to you in love? Capricorn, I have death. I have a Knight of Cups. And I have an apology. Someone's bursting with guilt around you, Capricorn. Someone you know, Capricorn, the way things went down between you and them haunts them and keeps them up at night, Capricorn. Capricorn, very interesting energies here. Do you know somebody with Scorpio placements, Capricorn? I actually read my Knight of Cups specifically as Scorpio. Death is Scorpio. 6 of Cups is Scorpio. We have tons of Scorpio placements here. Could be a Scorpio Venus, a Scorpio 7th house, could be a Scorpio Pluto, could be a Scorpio Mars. Also, too, with these, in other words, Capricorn, with these placements, it could be what they said and how they acted. Someone doesn't like what they said and how they acted. And it haunts them, it replays them at night. Things that you said, Capricorn, or the things that you did not say but could have. Anyway, that haunts somebody here, Capricorn. Other placements are Gemini and Libra, but very strong Scorpio. Anyway, you have an apology coming up, or someone is, actually I'd say in this energy, they're going to go. And apologies and waiting in the Capricorn collective. The way things went down between you and them haunts them tremendously. You know, they feel, Capricorn, that they should have been the ones to present themselves in the right. Maybe at the time, Capricorn, they did think that they were in the right, just emotions were too high, too flared, too dogmatic. You know, this is the way I want to move. This is the way I feel like moving. You know, not much logic in there, but after the dust settled and time passed and the silence, the separation, Capricorn, well, that replays in their head and it doesn't really reflect Capricorn, the type of person they envision themselves to be is false, Capricorn, when they think of you. And that's primarily why, for love for you, you have an apology coming. All right, that's for Capricorn. Let's see, anything else relevant here, Capricorn? I'm not really getting numbers, just really strong Scorpio energy. And then some air. So that was Capricorn. Let's see, spring love for Taurus. That would be a Taurus sun, a Taurus Venus, Taurus rising, a Taurus moon. Some reason a Taurus moon energy always feels so nice, calm, compared to some of the other energies. Not that I'm one to speak because I have a chaotic moon. But we all can appreciate, different types of energy, and I definitely appreciate the vibration of a Taurus moon. All right, Taurus. I have some cards that fell out for you, Taurus. Guess you get a few more cards here. Guess you're going to get a few more. Let's see. Taurus, what I pulled for you is a Four of Wands and a Justice. What fell out for you, Taurus, is a Knight of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, and Nine of Pentacles. Taurus, I want to say in this energy, please do not feel like you have to compromise. Please, Taurus, in this energy, be patient. Taurus, in this energy, understand that everything and more is what you are deserving of. And there's no reason, Taurus, why you can't have it exactly to the specifications of whatever you desire that you want. You just have to be patient, Taurus. You have to understand your own value and demand, Taurus, that the people who come to you have a similar quality of value as well. But love for you, Taurus, I see that you will be attracting a lot of things, Taurus, and it's up to you, Taurus, to put in those boundaries. Spring love for you, Taurus. You can be very busy if you want to, but my advice to you, Taurus, stay picky, Taurus. Have the highest standards, Taurus. Because, Taurus, you can get the absolute very best. Don't settle, Taurus. Also, too, Taurus, the doors that you closed and the people who have shown you who they are, Taurus, those doors, let them be closed forever, Taurus. Anyway, you have beautiful energy to get exactly what you want, how you want. Energy I have here. Also, too, I have journey. Don't rush, Taurus. Take your time, Taurus. Be very picky, Taurus. You can get the best, Taurus. Anything relevant here, Taurus, that's popping out for me? Not particularly, but Taurus, we have some Libra, Aries, Scorpio, Virgo energies. Don't have a soft heart either, Taurus. Taurus, in this energy, just because you may be feeling generous or nostalgic or what have you, maybe you're feeling confident, Taurus, confident in yourself. Taurus, the bridges that you burned, allow them to stay in disrepair. Don't mend anything, Taurus. Okay, that's also something that's there. Something could pop up from the ashes. Let's go on to Virgo. Thank you for the like. Let's see, Virgo. That would be a Virgo sun, Virgo Venus, Virgo moon, a Virgo rising. And if you feel like it, could be a Virgo Jupiter, a Virgo Juno. Could be a Virgo 7th house. If you feel there's something in your 7th house energy, that's a bit intense. Definitely could consider it. All right, Virgo. Make sure all my cards are right. All right, Virgo. Virgo and spring love. I have the sun for you, Virgo. I have strong Leo energy for you, Virgo. Getting lots of attention, Virgo. Looking very good, Virgo. Likewise, too, Virgo, the more you project, the better looking, well, people should be coming around you. People are going to be thinking, you look good. Could be a little bit mysterious, could be putting some assumptions on you, Virgo, that isn't exactly accurate. But in this energy, Virgo, I see you looking really good. I see love looking really good for you too. People are going to want to know more about you, Virgo. Very attractive energy to lure people in, Virgo. You got the whole package, Virgo, or at least you got all the attention, Virgo. It's not really charm here, Virgo, that I have, but it is superstar energy. You know, you walk down the street, Virgo, you enter a room, Virgo, all eyes are on you, Virgo. Virgo, you are attracting attention. You will continue to attract attention, and people will want to know more about you. Anyway, very, very strong Leo energy. I also have some Cancerian energy, maybe some Scorpio energy. Let's see what else we have for Virgo. I've hired. You're going to be seen quite valuable. Let me say in this energy too, Virgo, one caveat I'll point out. You know, Virgo, people could be looking at the exterior of you so much that they're almost looking upon you, Virgo, like a commodity. You're like a very highly valued token they're seeking to gain. You know, as I said, it's not charm I have here, but it's star power. It's the ability to command whatever space you're in. All eyes and attention on you. And lots of interest being generated around you. I always want to say, although this is a love reading, Virgo, what kind of circles or what kind of interest can you pursue, Virgo, in terms of social networking? Because in this energy, Virgo, you can be, well, wherever you're going to be, Virgo, you're going to get attention. So think about that, Virgo. Where can you place yourself right now to be most beneficial to you with the people who approach? Different groups of people to socialize with. Definitely you could go and meet a different type of partners that are out here. Definitely you could go and network for other facets of your life too, Virgo. Anyway, Virgo, very good energy for you. You're literally like more than a moth flying to the flame, Virgo. You're the whole sun. You get the butterflies, you get the birds, you get the people coming out to bask in your warmth. You can support an ecosystem, Virgo, in that energy. People coming to bask in your energy. Let's go and see. Oh, I did all the earth signs, didn't I? Let's go on to air. Let's go on to Libra. I think it was it you, Mars? I forget. Somebody asked to do a love reading, the love readings for the Libra collective. So Libra Sun, Libra Moon, Libra Venus, Libra Rising, could be a Libra Jupiter, could be a Libra Juno. Think about it. Let's see, Libra collective, love for Libra. Choices, Libra. Can't have everything, Libra. Can't stay to the middle road, Libra. Have to make some choices, Libra. Could it be change as well here, Libra? There is a bit of change here, Libra. I don't know whether to tell you, Libra, to go and follow your cooler half, or Libra to go and have a little fun, because definitely in this energy, Libra, what I have for you coming up in love, if you choose so, Libra, is a whole lot of fun coming up, Libra. Why does everybody want Libra so much? I don't know, but also in this energy, Libra, where does it go? Where does it lead you? How does it benefit you? What do they want? What are their plans? All those things, Libra, are up in the air. Everyone's having fun together, Libra, but they're having fun based on their own personal gratitude or their own personal gratification. It's like in this energy, Libra, the energies of the people who approach you, Libra, the people who open invitations to you, Libra, would be just as happy with anyone they could have a wild time with, Libra. And how wild it is, it can get very wild for you if you allow it. Something else I want to say here, Libra, but it's slipping my mind a little bit on how to phrase it. Energies coming up here, Libra. I have Leo, Cancer, Capricorn, Sagittarius, and Aries. We could say moderation is a key, but actually I say in this one, Libra, well, you have some choices coming up. And it seems like in this energy, Libra, if you choose to explore a certain group of people, Libra, that definitely are going to be approaching you, who you are right now, Libra, will change. I don't necessarily see anything detrimental in this energy, Libra, but I do see a change in personality. And once that change happens, Libra, it's not a change necessarily you can revert back to. Maybe, Libra, you wouldn't want to. Anyway, for love for you, I see some choices there, Libra. Do you continue, Libra, being the same type of person with the same type of values right now? Or, Libra, do you throw yourself into some very hot times? And I have fate. Now, anyway, Libra, very exciting energy awaiting you in this springtime love energy. One could say in this energy too, summer should be particularly hot for you. It's like, I don't know, it's not bad energy as I said, Libra, but it is different. It's a change of values. And also too, the people that you're with, immediate gratification. Determined to have immediate gratification. Let's check out Aquarius. So, thank you for the like. That would be an Aquarius sun, Aquarius moon, Aquarius rising, of course, an Aquarius Venus. And think about it, Aquarius, if you want to include your Jupiter. You know, they say, and I really do think, again, this depends upon your personal energy of how your natal chart is spread out, right? We're more than just our sun signs. Of course, if our sun signs are in other pertinent areas of our chart, we could be kind of heavy on those sun placements. But the common, well, you can think about it, right, and interpret it as you will. But a Jupiter would reference, well, besides your luck, your fortune, your career, your wealth aspects, Jupiter would also reflect or could reflect your future husband or your current husband or one of your husbands or whatever, right? Whatever. A Mars, for instance, could reflect, I think before they said in old astrology, it was supposed to be also your husband. In the new astrology, they're kind of saying it's your boyfriend. Mars energy would be for a lady, the boyfriend. For Venus, I believe, would be the modern equivalent for a man on their partner aspects, but the one who they actually bond with and commit would be someone who holds a lot of the qualities of the moon. Juno, there's Juno and Hera aspects. They also speak of commitment and the type of partners that we seek to go and gravitate towards. Seventh house is their houses of relationships. Could also think about your fourth house, the fourth house of family. So, there's all these different aspects of when you're thinking about your chart placement. And what kind of energies would you like to go and explore in a collective reading, or even if you're getting a personal reading and you're curious about what kind of placements are popping up in there, I definitely would review your natal chart and think about it. Anyway, Aquarius. Let's see what's in your energy right now. What message can I share for spring love? Aquarius, I have 6 of Cups, 4 of Cups, broody. Are you broody, Aquarius? Is someone broody about you? Not two energies together I particularly like, Aquarius. Maybe somebody in your energy too does not particularly like some replays of feelings that has been acknowledged. It's acknowledgement of feelings, Aquarius. Acknowledgement of wants and desires, acknowledgements of wanting to be treated a certain way, appreciated, seen a certain way. This is preference. What I have in my hands, Aquarius, is preference. And Aquarius, this is preference that someone only got, Aquarius, to have either an insight of or a taste of. Little grudgy type of energy in here too, but I have preference for Aquarius. Knowledge of what's wanted. Knowledge of quality, knowledge of wanting to be treated a certain way. Haven't quite come across getting that, but seeking it. You know, Aquarius, in this energy, this is someone who appears a certain way, and inside Aquarius, beneath the skin, Aquarius, even in their head, Aquarius, definitely in their heart, Aquarius, I don't want to say a mess, but very tight energy. Someone who appears fine, but isn't. There's no dissatisfaction in here, Aquarius. And also, too, knowing what one wants. Very clearly. Anyway, so Aquarius, signs that I have for you. Sixes, first of all, could be relevant. Sixes, go and take a look, Aquarius, at the numerology, what they say about sixes. I'm going to say here, and of course you can think about this as it pops up. Maybe a six is in your own personal numerology. Maybe it's in one of the numbers associated with your life, or something coming up for you, Aquarius. Sixes, in this energy, well, this is judging everything by a standard. Relationships formed, Aquarius, slightly because, or canceled, Aquarius, because of an existing set of standards. This is someone seeking in this sixes energy. I have Scorpio, Cancer, Leo, and Taurus. Maybe I have some Pisces way back there. Those are the energies that I have. Let's see what else we have for Aquarius. I have no respect. Okay, so Aquarius, what I have for you is a couple things. Number one is going to be an issue of tenderness, an issue of appreciation. Maybe in this energy, Aquarius, one person is going to be very transparent, one person is going to be very open, and the other, Aquarius, I'm not going to say they have another agenda, but they're not going to be transparent, they're not going to be open, but they are, Aquarius, going to enjoy the benefits that the other puts upon them. Right? The graciousness, the appreciation, the warmth, etc. But it's not necessarily going to be returned. In this energy, Aquarius, someone is giving and the other is taking. When that's pulled back, Aquarius, that's when the dissatisfaction grows. Maybe, too, this could be a pattern, Aquarius, for this person. Something they go through, just not with you, but with others. Here's someone, Aquarius, what I have for you in terms of love. I have somebody coming up, Aquarius, or someone in your energy, either or. I'm not really focusing on that so much. But Aquarius, I have somebody here who's not going to appreciate the opportunity and the openness someone shows them until that opportunity has passed and that person has closed the door, closed the connection. And then, Aquarius, that's when the realization of how nice that was starts. Perhaps in this energy, as I said, Aquarius, maybe this is seeking similar types of acknowledgement and treatment from others. This is someone who likes to take, Aquarius, and not particularly good yet at giving. You know, Aquarius, they say that to learn something, you have to immerse yourself in it. For instance, Aquarius, if you want to cook tasty food, or bake tasty food. Aquarius, first you must have educated taste buds, right? You must know what is tasty to you. You must eat good things, not eat lousy things, right? In order to make good food. And also, too, in this energy, Aquarius, in order to learn a new language, you need, 4,000 or 6,000 immersion hours just listening to that language. I think it's like 2,000 languages, 2,000 hours if it's a language that is closely linked to yours. Like for us, it would be the Romance languages, Italian, Spanish. I feel like there are more. I know French is not a Romance language, but is it? I think French is a Romance language. Well, anyway, I think the languages that are based off of Latin, right? Also, too, because they share the same root compound. Anyway, for that matter, one could say Sanskrit also has a lot of like, we're not getting into linguistics here. The point is that you need a certain number of immersion hours to go and effectively start to hear and understand the nuances of another language. And in this energy, what I have for you, Aquarius, is I have somebody who's getting their immersion hours of proper treatment, how to be real, how to be affectionate, how to be tender, how to have empathy towards another, how to appreciate another. And Aquarius, for you, someone in your energy is gaining their immersion hours in empathy, and they're not quite reached their 4,000 hours yet. Okay, that's what I have for Aquarius. Thank you for the like. So I guess what I'm saying, Aquarius, somebody's holding back, Aquarius. Someone's not being utterly transparent with you, Aquarius. Someone's not being a real person, Aquarius. And revealing just as much of themselves as you as they are to you, and vice versa, Aquarius. Not the type of person to deal with, or at least not the type of person to get attached to. Because as I said, they're getting their immersion hours. And that's not a pleasant thing to be a part of. Let's go on to Gemini. That would be a Gemini sun, a Gemini moon, a Gemini Venus, Gemini rising, and as I said, could be a Gemini Jupiter, Gemini 7th house, and so forth. Anyway, Gemini. Spring and love for Gemini. I have 6 of Swords, Gemini, Empress. No rush, Gemini. Take your time, Gemini. In your energy, Gemini, I almost want to say people have to prove themselves to you, Gemini. Also, too, Gemini, you really should be treated delicately, carefully, preciously. You should seek out connections, Gemini, or watch how they treat you, Gemini, and ensure they treat you preciously. Make sure they're considerate, Gemini. One could also say in this energy, too, Gemini, you should be the one steering the boat. That is what I get here, Gemini. The direction that's set for your relationships, Gemini, the tempo set, the timing set, the goals set, the desires set, the benchmarks needed, Gemini. You should be the one crafting them. You should be the one presenting them, whether or not they want to be a part of that or you build and amend that on common ground, of course. But I feel like in this energy, Gemini, too, you set the direction. Find people, Gemini, who will listen to what you want and how you want it and seek to collaborate on ways of how to make that happen. This is not saying to be dogmatic and like a dictator and saying all my ways. No, but Gemini, this is you saying, you know, I want to live, I don't know, on the water. The other person can say, do you want to live on a boat or one of those like stilt houses, or should we live by the river or by the ocean or what have you, right? Shall we just have a pool? Shall we just get a really big hot tub, etc., right? You get the idea, Gemini. Just because you state something doesn't mean you have to go and, you know, spend half your life or half all the time submerged in water, right? There are different ways to go and make a wish happen. Many different ways. Maybe just be drinking more water, right, in your diet. But that's the idea here. I want you to also think about how can you set direction. Because Gemini too, I don't know, I just get such a wealth of ability from you, Gemini. One could say, Gemini, in this energy, either your senses or perhaps your taste, Gemini, your observations are always spot on, Gemini. You, Gemini, have advice, have observations, have inclinations, have directions, Gemini, that people should follow. Following you, Gemini, is a good thing. Following the direction you set, Gemini, paying attention to what you notice, Gemini, all very good things. Oh, I was holding them back before even reading them, wasn't I? Anyway, Gemini, let's see signs that I have here for you. I have some Aquarius, Taurus. I actually read my Empress between Taurus and Cancer. But I have some Scorpio. I could say we have all the water signs, Virgo and Aquarius. I could have had Temperance on here. I forgot. Did I fold them all back? Well, you could take a look at it, Gemini. Push it back on the card. I mean, not the card. Push it back on the timeline, and you can check them out. The way I read the cards is almost standard. Sometimes it's a bit different. It's just what I feel, Gemini. Let's go and get a card for you. And I have bingo. Okay, Gemini, that's what I have for you. You set the direction. It's important for you to have control. As I said, or at least, you know, set the theme. Excellent instincts, Gemini. You need someone who appreciates and acknowledges when someone has a gift and a talent, such as you do, Gemini. You definitely make use of that, Gemini. You don't have an oracle right in front of you, Gemini, and ignore it. And trust me, in this energy, Gemini, your gift of intuition, your gift of observation, always spot on. Thank you for the like. Okay. I believe I did all the air. We did all the earth. We'll go and pick up on fire. We'll do Leo. Right, I did Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, yes, and then I did all of Earth. Let's see Leo. Leo love. Let's see Leo. Well, Leo, not exactly what I wanted. Very strong Leo energy. Don't we have that, Leo? Sun is Leo. Strength is Leo. Very strong energy overall, Leo. Also, too, in this energy, Leo, the time of waiting is past. The time of mediation is past, Leo. This is almost very action time to come forward, time to be active. Please don't be passive in this energy, Leo. I don't know what to be passive about, right? These are collective readings. Take it as it resonates, but all I know, Leo, is this is time for you to be at the forefront, you to be the main character, you to really lean into your natural gifts. So therefore, let me say too, in this energy, Leo, I don't want to say Leo season should be interesting for you, because I'm not really getting this so much about timing. But Leo, I would like you to think about, where is your sun located? And do you have any other Leo place or placements in Leo? But I'd like you to think about, if you could find out where if you know the birth time, if you can get in touch with somebody who knew you when you were coming out in the world. What about time was I being born? I would definitely see if you could find that. And think about the house that's located in, Leo. Because I think you've been playing it safe, Leo. This is a love reading, but I feel like in general, Leo, in your life, conservative, Leo. Some things, you step out on, and other things, Leo, you are a bit conservative about. You follow in line a little bit. You wait for the right opportunity. You build up a good foundation. But in this energy, Leo, overkill, enough. Now's the time to go and make use of what you built, make use of your personality, your forest, those connections you've made, that road you've paved, Leo. Go and thunder down on top of it. However you do that, Leo, it's up to you. You as an individual. Leo, besides very strong Leo energy, I also have Sagittarius, Aquarius, Libra. Threes could be relevant. Threes could be relevant for you. Leo, also to eights. We have some eights. In this energy too, Leo, I'm going to say with the threes and eights, let me just see what those threes are one more time. I would say, Leo, the company you keep really does dictate how, do I say how, excuse me, how safe you'll play it, how adventurous you'd be, the risk you would be inclined to take as opposed to the ones you wouldn't, how much further of yourself you're willing to extend or open yourself up to. It could be criticism with threes whenever you expose yourself or expose more of yourself to an audience, right? An audience that not necessarily is your inner circle, your supportive circle. There's always some backlash in everything, which is also what inspires us to go and try and keep the middle road, try and, fall in line and conform to some extent. The biggest pressure of conformity is peer pressure. And in this energy too, Leo, what I have for you, you could have outgrown the people who are around you right now. And I just don't mean in romantic love. I'm talking about friendship, right? Platonic love, care and empathy. I'm talking about all the emotions of love. There's something about this energy here that you have just sort of outgrown or about to outgrow. And if they don't grow with you, Leo, that keeps you confined in a way that you are, you've outgrown that box, you've outgrown that space, and ready to go and claim a larger space. Leo, what do I have for Leo? If I can get that card out. I want the card under here, Leo. You have met before. Is that really the card? Yes, it is. You have met before. Well, Leo, what I feel for you in love, there's a growth. I don't know, I just feel like, Leo, it's time for you to claim more real estate, for you to grow larger. And as you grow larger, Leo, some things of familiarity, some things of comfort may not be comfortable with your change, your changes. All right, that's a reading for Leo. Thank you for the like. Let's go and check out. Who should we check out? Sagittarius. Oh, Sagittarius, Sun, Sagittarius. In fact, when I did a reading earlier today, now I actually forget, was it Aries or was it Sagittarius? I linked it in the description so you can check it out, and they're not that long. But I did a reading earlier today, and I can't recall because I don't really remember the details of the reading so much. But somebody, maybe it's both fire signs, I don't know. But somebody's getting like everything, something, I don't know. Really great energy in love. I remember feeling that. It was just like, wow. Smooth, open, unrestricted. Almost like that energy. Who was it that I pulled a little earlier that I said could have it all? Was it Libra? I forget that as well. But there was a sign that I did earlier of this reading, this live, in which I felt they needed to have, or was it Taurus? I forget. You see, that's what I mean. But anyway, one of those signs that I did earlier in this video has a feeling like basically anything that you ask for, you could get. And I know that I did one of the fire signs that instead of asking for it with the fire signs, it was just like you could sit and things are coming. Very interesting energy. Totally unobstructed energy. I think that was what was interesting. Anyway, we're going to do Sagittarius. Sagittarius, if you are interested in seeing that other love reading that I did for you, maybe about, I don't know, 8 hours ago or 6 hours ago, something like that, check out the description. That would be, I did Sagittarius, Aries, and water. I don't recall what water was, except I do remember that I kept on calling Scorpio's name with Pisces. Somehow those got a little merged with my motor skills. So Pisces actually got 2 readings in there in that one. Anyway, let's go on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius in love. That would be a Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Moon, Sagittarius Venus, and a Sagittarius rising. Well, a few things could be going on in this energy, Sagittarius. This is a desire to put down roots, Aquarius, a desire to put down roots, Sagittarius. Maybe you have already started putting down roots with a significant other, Sagittarius. Maybe you see the type of lifestyle that you want. Maybe you're in the home that you want. Maybe you're in the neighborhood that you want. Maybe you're with the person you want. Maybe Sagittarius, you have some of those elements. Maybe Sagittarius, you don't have any of those elements, but there is still the energy to grow roots. Emotional security, be grounded, not necessarily in a physical manner, Sagittarius, but by the soul, by the heart, by the mind. You know, someone, Sagittarius, who no matter where you are and where they are, Sagittarius, that is where home is. Very wistful energy here, Sagittarius. Very optimistic energy here, Sagittarius. This is the energy of committing. Committing to an ideology, committing to a tempo and phase of life. So, Sagittarius, have you already started making those moves? Are you seeking to make those moves? Because I have commitment. Definite direction has been identified. Oh, Sagittarius, in your collective's energy, fours may be relevant. You know, Sagittarius with lovers and four of wands here. Both cards do have connotations, Sagittarius, to soulmate energy, twin flame energy, your other half, life partner, and so forth. That's what my cat says. Energies coming up here. I have Gemini, Aries, Cancer, and Libra. Maybe I have some Scorpio. Maybe I have some sixes too. Sixes and fours, but we're definitely talking. Okay, Chi-Chi. I hear you. See, when you have a Siamese, your Siamese goes Mal. Because I can talk too. I know. Have you seen Sagittarius on TV and also on YouTube? They have these commercials that they're selling about the little dog ice cream pop things. And they're saying like the pops will last 20 minutes and that's just long enough for you to go and have an interview or have a call or whatever and not be bothered by your dog barking in the background. I can say that on my business calls, my cats have meowed so much in there that usually they're always asking, and what does your cat say? No word from the cat. No, not yet. Or plenty of words from the cat. Anyway, Sagittarius, really beautiful energy here. Let's go and find out more. I would just say in this energy, where are you at with your life phase? Because I really see, formation and dedication of your values and the people who you value to build that out with. I have soulmate energy. I have partnership energy. I have extending yourself and selflessness and vice versa. I have also too Sagittarius in this energy, someone who will be your biggest advocate. Also interesting in this energy, Sagittarius, this is a sort of energy of somebody who you could meet and that person just feels so familiar. I'm sure Sagittarius would love for you. All I can say is that may not make sense, if that's the right word to go and phrase it, Sagittarius, but this is something that feels so natural, feels meant to be. You can close your eyes, Sagittarius, and tell by the electrical signals that person puts out, that electrical aura. You can just feel them. That's that kind of energy. You can close your eyes. You don't even need to hear them or see them. You feel them. What was I going to say here, Sagittarius? In this energy, this could be somebody who literally is right behind you, right beside you, and then just pops up. Or someone who's around and on a chance meeting, you run into this. This is someone who just, serendipity is also in this energy, Sagittarius. There's magic for you. Of course, there's always magic in the Sagittarius collective. Sagittarius is favored by Jupiter. You don't have to force anything to happen in this energy, Sagittarius. Let it unfold for you. Live long term. Anyway, Sagittarius, I see your life partner coming up. I see this person being somebody who is around you. And, maybe they're around you in your daily routine. Maybe you go somewhere, Sagittarius, and that person is right by your shoulder. This is literally what you're seeking, being right under or above your nose. Tapping you on the shoulder. You don't have to go and do anything. Just be. I see commitment or further commitment. I see roots being built. I see dynasties being started for you, Sagittarius. The time to start building out something meaningful, not because of where you wish to envision it, but because of who you're envisioning it with. Anyway, that's for Sagittarius. Let's go and check out Aries. That would be an Aries sun, Aries moon, Aries rising, and Aries Venus. What do I have for Aries? Aries love. Aries spring love. I have the moon. I have death. Well, first of all, Aries, that emotional connection is really important. Emotionality is very important. Everything could be there, Aries, but if it doesn't have the actual hit you right through your veins, Aries, does it matter? Aries, you could have significant water placements yourself, and maybe you have some water placements in some moody places, some water houses, some water planets, moon, 7th house, 4th house. Is 4th house a water house? Forget. 7th, did I say 7th house, 12th house? I feel like there's one more that I'm missing, but you can look it up. Anyway, the point is I have moodiness. And I have fluctuations. And I also, too, here have Aries. Things have to keep your attention. And that way of keeping your attention, Aries, first of all, is to feel progression, feel growth. You should feel more than you were before. And I feel like for the partnerships that you're in, they have to go and build out better versions of yourself than when you first met them. And Aries, if they're not building out better versions of you when you met them, and I mean in general, and it doesn't even have to be so much romantic love, just love, friendship, family, love connections in general, lovers, etc. But if they're not building out the best connections of you, They could have everything that you would like, but I see getting bored. For you, Aries, you need constant growth, constant improvement, and you need someone who's dedicated to being better than they were right now, having better than what they have right now, being leveling off, accepting the status quo. I almost want to say being comfortable too. Not really Aries language. And maybe Aries, there could be some people around you. Maybe Aries, there's a person approaching you. And this person, Aries, kind of does the most or the best in the beginning stages. And then they just kind of, well, stay the same. They stay the same, Aries, and you, Aries, still grow. A little bit of a problem there, Aries, because one person grows, another person digs in. And what you need, Aries, is someone who's dedicated to growing as well. In this energy, one could even say, Aries, someone who keeps you on their toes, maybe someone whose ideas, Aries, you need to scale back and go, that sounds fun, but let's not do that. As opposed to you being the one who says, let's do blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that's a little bit of the energy I have here for you, Aries. Aries in love, I have the moon, energies. We have some Pisces, Scorpio, Virgo. And do I say nines are relevant? I could say nines are relevant. Nines and eights. I say nines and eights are relevant. With nines and eights, Aries, well, there's like a turning point. Something's not really hitting all the marks for you in this energy, almost causing you or facilitating or you getting a bit restless to be independent, maybe acting independent, feeling detached, not really feeling connected. Time for you to move on. There could be a person approaching you who inspires that. You could already be around a person like that. Maybe you recently left a person, last relationship, last connection was like that. Anyway, I'm just going to say in this energy, Aries, you can't really just settle down with anyone. And also too, Aries, your scheme, your desire, your vision, your energy isn't really meant just because you can, Aries. Is it meant to go and pull the whole arc along with you? You can't be the rocket engine, Aries, that shuttles the whole crew from Earth to Andromeda. You need to make sure everyone else has their own jetpacks as well, Aries. Try and find the people with the biggest drives going. Otherwise, Aries, you're going to get bored. You're going to feel claustrophobic. You're going to feel confined. You are going to break out of that. Maybe the other person could try and constrain you to keep you. Well, when I met Aries, Aries was like this. When I met Aries, Aries was quite happy to be in here. So stay in here, Aries. Don't go. Don't try and go out. Anyway, it's a little bit of what I see for Aries. Let's go and pull a card for you, Aries. I got 2 cards. I have finances and career and later. Of course, I know finances is misspelled. I'll get to it, Aries. But what I have here, Aries, is you need someone who's very driven. I'm going to say to go for your aspects of love, just because you can go and get with people or meet people who are interesting. Aries, think about the long term. Find someone, Aries, who has built up something you can really respect. And also to Aries, someone who wants to go and expand upon it. And Aries, this isn't about how they see their personal life. This is about where they feel their life path going. What gets them excited and motivated about life? Do they have a mission they feel they have to do? And with that mission, how have they been working to fulfill it? You know, questions like that. Thank you for the like. Think about things like that, Aries. Anyway, I'm just saying be careful, because you could align yourself with someone, and I don't want you to be the powerhouse, Aries. And eventually, Aries, if that happens to you, you're not going to be very happy with it. Not very nice, Aries, when somebody who's determined and ferocious about gaining ends up with a couch potato. Couch potatoes are good with potatoes. And potatoes are good things. I mean, I like potatoes. Wouldn't want to be a potato, and perhaps every couple of days, or, you know, having a day of relaxation and being a potato is nice. But overall, we don't want to be potatoes, Aries. Let the potatoes be the potatoes. You be the firebrands and the original cardinal sign spark of invigoration. Think about it, Aries. Technically, the year starts with your sign. Technically, Aries, there is no fire that burns hotter than yours. Not even the initial spark, it's the initial flame. And flames are meant to grow, Aries, not diminish. All right, let's go and check out. I did all the fire, I believe, right? Yeah. Let's check out water. I did air signs as my second collective. So first was earth, then we did air, then we did fire, and now we're on water. And if I recall, I think I did Gemini as my sixth sign. So it was the last sign that I read of the air signs before going on to fire. You're welcome. Thank you for the like. All right. Let's go and check out, who should we check out? We're going to check out water. I could have sworn I saw a hangman. Was that just some deja vu? Shall we do Pisces? I normally start out with Pisces. Pisces, if you're interested, I did do a reading for you. I did 2 readings for you that's linked in the description. A little different format. I'm sure they had different messages. I don't recall what they were. But if you're curious, let's go and check out another reading for Pisces. Let's see. Pisces, spring love for Pisces. I have Ace of Pentacles. I have Hangman. I knew I saw a Hangman. Well, a couple things here. We're talking about investment, Pisces. Things take time, Pisces. This is like time and no time. You already put in the time has already been spent, and now the time is now. The time has been and the time is now. It's not even future, it's past and present, both equally relevant. The investment that has been nurtured, has been adhered to, has been followed through, is ready. Wasn't time to go and move forward before, Pisces? One could say in this energy too, the sharpness of moving too fast, believing too easily, following other people's leads too, Pisces. Maybe not even following other people's leads, but having ideas and following through with them. Oh, that looks good, that looks good, that looks good. And changing the direction or changing the way you go through life. It's a little bit of like having interest and exploring it. But then when you sort of tally things up, Pisces, you have some things to sort out. Well, anyway, Pisces, things have been sorted out. Things have been sorting out. Whatever this was, this running around, this learning, this these lessons. I feel like very skilled with reading people, knowing people, seeing situations. Not necessarily the best side of people either, but it benefits you, Pisces. Also gives you a deeper depth of understanding, a perfect understanding, Pisces, of the motivations of people. I don't know, in this energy, Pisces, one could say not much escapes you. You don't have to even act on it or speak on it. You don't have to go and let the people know, oh, I see you. I know exactly what you're doing. Not even worth it. You have transcended that, but you still really see things for what they are. Anyway, Pisces, for love for you, a little bit of sage energy here. I'm going to say, Pisces, be careful about your empathy or your time, because Pisces, with what you see and what you understand, maybe the history of some people you know, maybe because you meet people or you hear of things, Pisces, that you know what they could have gone through or might have gone through in those types of situations. You know, there's some empathy here, Pisces, that could make you available to some things, because you realize the harshness that exists, and I don't really see you being a part of that. You may want to assuage that. You definitely understand it. I just feel like saying, for those types of situations, Pisces, not really worth your time and effort to get involved in. Not to be callous, but you know, Pisces, just because we have the ability to do certain things doesn't necessarily mean that we have the availability to do so, right? Ability is one thing, availability is another, especially with everything else that we have to do, right? Like, think of it, we have a battery pack of 100. We don't run on finite energy. You don't run on finite time. on infinite time. We run on finite time and finite energy. So be a little cautious about your empathy of extending olive branches or understanding empathy to others who are going through difficult situations, because I feel like that could come up. Anyway, ultimately, you have an investment that can be cashed in. You have an investment from what you did before, and this is kind of karmically. I don't want to use the word karmically exactly, but energetically, what you've done before, what you've been through before, and who you are right now, it avails you a bonus. We'll call it that. And how you spend that bonus, Pisces, even if you spend that bonus, is up to you, but you can call in favors, Pisces. There's a big gain for you, Pisces, that you spent time cultivating. Like a little dragon egg of a friendly dragon, a little kitty cat egg. Anyway, something really, really precious you've accrued. You can call it in now too, Pisces, if you want. I'm going to say in this energy too, see what's done for you, Pisces. Pisces, don't run on your heart. Don't like what you hear. Don't run on, Pisces, what you see. Pisces, let everything be quite tangible. Tangible hallmarks of value. And also, too, in this energy, Pisces, I want to say, seek someone who will labor for you selflessly. I feel that's really important, Pisces, because you have a tendency to make yourself available in the same way. Pisces, I did fold back some cards, didn't I, automatically? I kind of forget what they were, bottom of the deck energy, but you can take a look. Anyway, I have some Sagittarius, Pisces, and Capricorn energy. And a card for Pisces. Hello. I have hell. Okay, Pisces. You definitely earned something. And just because, Pisces, you know how cold and cruel something is, doesn't mean necessarily, Pisces, that you are ones to pull other people out of things that you know so well. I don't see you continuing actions, negative actions that happen to you, but I do see you having a tendency to be empathetic towards it, because you understand what it's like to be pinned in certain situations, especially when all you needed yourself, Pisces, was the proper assistance. But I want to say in this energy, Pisces, make sure, at least right now, Pisces, you're the one receiving the assistance. You're the one who's being valued. You're the one who's being invested for, and you're the one, Pisces, that they're striving for. Restrain yourself, Pisces, and see how far people are willing to go for you. Not just what they say they're willing to do, how far they're willing to go. And Pisces, if their actions don't match their words, if their results don't match their intentions, drop them immediately. Thank you for the like. So let's do Cancer. That would be a Cancer Sun, a Cancer Venus, a Cancer Moon. Whenever I say moon, I kind of think of Sailor Moon. And is Sailor Moon supposed to be a Cancerian? You know, I like Sailor Moon, even though there's obvious issues with Sailor Moon, right? I mean, she starts out when she's like 12 or 14. She gets involved with a guy who's in college and older, right? And he goes and like ends up with her best friend and then has some sort of weird dalliance with a kid who's like 5 years old. I mean, there are like, you know, some pedophilia themes in there. You know, definitely some exploitation with things, right? But outside of that, which I know is a pretty big outside, we're not going to get into media, the analysis of media and pop culture. But the core, there are some really beautiful things about the Sailor Moon series. One of them would be the relationship of love and friendship, right? Sailor Moon is someone who selflessly always is out there. And once she has a bond with you, she's there for you. Sailor Moon also too has a beautiful depiction of mother-daughter relationships and connections. You can also say sibling connections too, with the sisters of some of the evil ones, and then those little, like, you know, twin fairies or whatever they were called, you know, tree fairies, whatever they were, aliens, whatever. They were all aliens, right? Everything is an alien. Anyway, I do think Sailor Moon is supposed to be a Cancerian energy. And I guess I was trying to say, every time I hear the word moon, I think of like the way she's like, I'm Sailor Moon, or whatever she says in Japanese. Subtitles, dubs, whatever. Anyway, now I kind of have the theme song. What was it? She's always there for a friend, always there to defend. Anyway, let's go on to Cancer. All the Cancerian placements for love and self: Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, Juno, and so forth. Anyway, Cancer, spring love. Want that card, Cancer. Let's see, I have an Ace of Swords. I have a Five of Cups. Got burned, Cancer. Not about to ever forget that, Cancer. Doing things differently, Cancer. Reinvention, Cancer. Changes are coming, Cancer. Priorities for you, Cancer, have been shifting, are shifted. Where you once stepped prior, Cancer, you are not inclined to step in there again. No need. You know what you want, Cancer. You know quality. And you're determined to get it. One could also say, maybe this is a little bit of the energy of the reading I did earlier, Cancer. Do check it out. It's linked in the description. And I did do that maybe a few hours before I did this one. Slightly different format, but now that I'm doing this, the message is kind of the same. You know how easily, Cancer, you opened yourself up authentically to others, Cancer, not necessarily going to be so inclined to do it again. This is moving differently in this energy. energies coming up here. I have Libra, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Maybe I have some Sagittarius. Trying to see if I have any numbers here. Do I have threes? No, the numbers are, we could say we have tens and ones. We're talking about shifting the emotional temperature of you, Cancer. A lot harder for someone to get under your skin now, Cancer. And just because you could be transparent, Cancer, you can be very direct about what you want and who you are, Cancer, doesn't necessarily mean that is an indication that you have opened up your heart chakra to them, Cancer. You have opened up your heart space. You actually see them as your people, Cancer, as your friends, as your loves, as your family. In this energy, Cancer, there's a barrier. People have to prove themselves to you. You'll insist upon people proving themselves to you. Cancer, in the energy of love, spring love I have for you. People are going to have to be vetted by you. You're not going to be carried away by anybody so easily, Cancer. People are going to have to prove themselves to you. Cancer, let's get a card. I have apology. Well, Cancer, in this energy, I can tell you, apologies don't matter. And Cancer, this isn't necessarily the energy of because what you've gone through, you've become harder. No, you have not become harder. You have not become callous. Cancer, you've just become more prudent about your heart. Heart still throbs, Cancer. Heart still feels, Cancer. Intuition is still there, Cancer. But if you are not dealing with someone on the same level of emotional awareness, emotional maturity, then what's the point, Cancer, of you extending any sort of indication or openness for that? Anyway, Cancer, I have some guards up for you. And not for necessarily people who you've dealt with before. People you dealt with before, dust, Cancer. But the people who come now, Cancer, they may think they're getting someone sensitive, which you are, right? You haven't changed your core self, Cancer. It's just that, Cancer, now you're protecting yourself. And first, Cancer, someone's going to have to go through definitely a lot of proving to approach. One could even say in this energy of apology, the apology is not necessarily anything relating to you yourself, but there could be an apology, people feeling apologetic for, do I say this, Cancer, how hard they have to work now to approach you. You know, Cancer, this is somebody who before was accessible at ground level. Everyone could come up and talk to Cancer. And now, Cancer, you have a security team. You have 5,000 steps, Cancer. You have a gate they have to climb over. You have some barking, snarling dogs, Cancer, that you have to go and like either move very slowly, talk very sweetly, and give lots of treats to get past. Anyway, Cancer, now to go and get your attention, to get your trust. People will have to work at it. They will work at it. And you, Cancer, will be very observant about the quality that they do so in. That's what I got for Cancer. Now let's go and see Scorpio, our final sign. And Scorpio, I also do have a reading for you as well in the description. Check it out. That would be Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, Scorpio Venus. If you feel it's relevant with the way your chart is aspected, could be a Scorpio 7th house, could be a Scorpio Jupiter, could be a Scorpio Juno. Think about it. Like, for instance, maybe your Juno and one of the other placements, Moon, Jupiter, Moon, I already said that, June, Moon. It's like I've been talking for an hour and a half and, the motor skills fade. Moon, Venus. I always want to say if it shares like the same house as Lilith too, I would say with Juno. But there's certain placements that you would think about, either where it's housed with or how it's aspected, that you can consider that. Anyway, Scorpio. Let's see, Scorpio. Making things a bit harder than they have to be, Scorpio. Breathe freer, Scorpio. Trust, Scorpio. You don't have to prove anything, Scorpio. It's a bit of laboring too much here, Scorpio. Be careful of that. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone or anything. You don't have to extend yourself any more than you have to. Maybe you have exerted yourself, and maybe in this energy too, Scorpio, you feel most confident, most competent when you are of service to the ones you care about or to the ones you want to impress. But I want to say, Scorpio, unnecessary. Very strong fire energy here, Scorpio. I have all the fire signs here. I have very strong Aries, very strong Leo. I also have some Libra. Fours are relevant here. But in this energy, I feel like saying you've done enough, Scorpio. Let things come to you, Scorpio. Don't push things, Scorpio. It's unnecessary. I have some expectations here too, Scorpio. I want to go and say, give it time. Need to have patience. Of course, I can already tell that some durations of time have already gone through. Two of Wands, Four of Swords, 10 of Wands, all that speaks to time. Plus, an Emperor energy doesn't pop out of nowhere. We already have time here. But for the energy of love for you, Scorpio, it's not something you should push. It's not something you should rush. And I feel like too in this energy, Scorpio, when you do push, when you do exert yourself, you have a heavier hand. Like when someone else is pushing something and maybe something moves, Scorpio, just a little bit, like they go push, 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 right? Normal people, Scorpio, you're like, ooh, goes off the chart. Scorpio, you have a lot of impact. And that's why you don't need to do that much. When you walk on the ground, Scorpio, your footprints go deep. Trust me, Scorpio, people notice everything. In this energy, very large, very powerful, unmistakable, very obvious. And when Scorpio, you're very powerful, you're very large, you're very obvious, you have to move differently. You know, I have cats, Scorpio, and when my cats go barreling through the house, they can do that, Scorpio, because they weigh 6 to maybe 12 pounds, right? There are things that I'm a little worried about them breaking, but not much. But Scorpio, if I had dogs, like medium-sized dogs, 30-pound, 60-pound dogs, running like that, right? You sit in your little cubby beds. And when we go outside, you can run, but you don't run in the house, right? They're too large. The larger you are, you have to move differently. And Scorpio, for love for you, I want you to stay put. I want you not to try so much, put out so much. Because, I don't know, just in this energy, it's not appropriate. It's not needed. It's an overkill. Scorpio, in this energy, as I said before, although time is already indicated, I want you to have patience. Everything you want, Scorpio, and everything you are, Scorpio, maybe not everything, but every public thing, Scorpio, that you are is really clearly discernible by the people around you. Like the type of person you are, the type of person you'd be inclined for, the personality you'd look for, the personality you are, all that's very known. So wait, Scorpio, and see who comes to you, Scorpio. Like Scorpio, a sculpture that's outside and people make their way to it, Scorpio, to photograph it, to look at it, to sit beside it. Wait to come to see, Scorpio, who comes beside you. I'd like you to wait. Signs, I think I already said signs, right? I had some Leo, I had some Aries, I have Sagittarius, and I have Libra. Let's go and see what else I have here. Scorpio, I have materialistic. Interesting, Scorpio, that we have materialistic when we don't have any pentacles. But I do have, I have lots of presence, lots of strength. You could, in this energy, Scorpio, be giving the appearance, or people could be something about your energy, considerate. do they measure up? Are they good enough? Maybe they think they could be good enough now or on the short term or before you get to know them too well. Maybe in this energy, they think that they would be more equipped, better equipped to go and deal with you later. Also, too, in this energy, Scorpio, you might just inspire some competition as well. To be at Scorpio's level, I'd like to be at Scorpio's level. In order to be at Scorpio's level, I need, because as I said, we don't have any pentacles, but we do have presence by the ton, and we have strength, really strong strength, flexing of strength that most people don't have, flexing of skills, Scorpio, that most people would have to work very hard at to get at the level that you have right now. As I said, Scorpio, when you're strong, you have to move softer, more delicately. Even Scorpio, move less in certain environments and at certain times. And that is what's coming up for you. Well, that's what I see. Is there anything more I want to say other than fours could be relevant? When I say fours, as I said, presence, strength, we're talking about foundation. What you've built, what you can do, how you present yourself, how people regard you. Could be a little intimidating. And also, too, Scorpio, in this energy, you could feel, right, like where you are right now, you want more, right? This is like, this is nothing. What I want is more. I'm sure in this energy, every day is a better day for you, determined to be a better you. There's no settling here. Anyway, for that sort of energy, not everyone can follow along, but everyone can recognize it. I guess, too, in that energy, Scorpio, watch to make sure you're not taken advantage of. People saying, can you do this for me, Scorpio? Do that for me, Scorpio. I'll do this for you, Scorpio. I don't know, Scorpio. That's what I have here. Well, thank you, everyone, for the likes. I'm going to go and drink a little bit of water as I've been talking for about an hour and 50 minutes so far. If anyone does have any personal questions, I'll be available for readings maybe in about 20 minutes, but I'm going to take a break from this, from talking for almost 2 hours. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. I'll look at them in a little bit when I come back. Bye-bye. Hi, Changes. Thank you for your donation. Are you going to experience an alien encounter? Undeniable alien encounter. Let us go and see. Thank you for your donation, Changes. I very much do appreciate it. Let's go and see. Six of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. Now, first of all, I want to go and say that I feel like you've already had some signs right in front of you. And no signs necessarily, or nothing quite happens on happenstance. Yeah, it's not like, oh, this just happened. Oh, this just dropped. Oh, I just saw this. And it doesn't necessarily mean or fit into a larger picture. In this energy changes, it does fit into a larger picture. They were signs, a form of communicating. Someone's flashing lights at you. You, in your own way, changes have been flashing lights at the aliens. So first of all, I want to say there's already a communication there. There already is a baseline there. There already is established contact there. Bottom of the deck energy, 7 of Cups. And the Star. That contact that I feel, first of all, changes that has been happening for you is, let me just put this up there. Does it come? There we go. Changes, first of all, with this energy, the contact has already been happening. But I feel it's been happening in ways that they are purposely trying to have you think a certain way, perceive a certain way. They're not contacting you necessarily like ET, phone home, put me in a bike and we eat pizza together type of thing. Whatever they did in ET. But this is a little bit more esoteric, a little bit more abstract. This is more in the mental plane. And what kind of signs, changes have you been getting since, let's say, aliens first crossed your mind? What kind of guidance do you feel you have listened to, or you yourself have followed? What kind of guidance right now, changes, are you following right now? Why? Why are you on the path that you are? Why are you curious about the things that you are? What is going through your head? What is coming into your mind in your waking hours? What is flashing beneath your eyes when you dream? Anyway, first of all, you are already in communication, but they're not communicating with you through, hello, my name is. They're communicating with you in puzzles. They want you to think, they want you to figure out They want you to learn. They definitely want you to understand. Star and Seven of Cups here tells me that also, too, the communication that has been happening, or perhaps will happen, we'll find out more as we pull. But the communication that has been happening is not necessarily what you'd expect. And also, too, in this energy, a lot of visualization. As odd as that is. I have like mental growth and visualization. They could say that they are interested in you for your visualization. Communication is a two-way street. Encounters are a two-way street. There's already a form of contact right now. Maybe some things were direct before. Maybe that type of encounters that you had were a little abstract or a little hard to understand, a little hard to process. Have you already had some encounters? This speaks of something has already been developed, and to utilize it or make use of it hasn't or wasn't really possible, other than just shifting your perception of reality, what could be, what is. A little bit of energy here of cultivation. And I do think they're interested in visualization. But let's find out more. Six of Pentacles with an Ace of Swords. Definitely this is all about changing how you think, changing how you operate, your value system and perception of things changing. They want you to see and operate and deal with things differently. I have Strength. Two of Cups. Oh, excuse me, Two of Pentacles. Two of Wands. Ace of Wands. So a couple of things could be going on in this energy changes. One is, and I'm just saying what I feel as I feel it, and we'll continue exploring, but take it as it goes. Changes, first of all, in this energy. That encounter. A couple things. It could not be what you expect. I definitely have alienation here changes. Turning into a different type of beast changes. The vitality, the things that interest you, how you vibrate in the tone of society, not necessarily fitting in changes. Having to go and create your own space to go and occupy, your own space to go and operate in, your own space to rule in this energy changes. Very much out of the box, very independent, very alone. And asking you to be comfortable in it, comfortable with it. So that's what I have here so far. Also, too, when this energy changes, it's like, the more that you, well, first of all, there's a couple things. To go a step back, I feel like alien encounters that's already been prepped in your energy already has been happening. Slowly and surely. And you can consider that, I think, how your mind has been changing. I don't want to say the word downloads because I feel it's overused. But, and changes, do let me know if this is, how you feel about this. And also, too, if I still have you with me. But I feel changes, let's say alien encounters, or at least the alien encounter for you isn't necessarily something that is going to come up or like can happen just like that. It has to be created. It has to be cultivated. You have to be prepared in this energy. You have to be prepared to have the strength of character, the strength of mind, the strength of foresight, in order to go and make the partnership be available, be ready, be able to interact and understand what would come of that encounter. But Ace of Wands here, I definitely see alien encounter coming your way. But I think they've already been in contact with you. They've been in contact with you through a psychic level, an intellectual level, and a visual level. I think they've kind of been crossing the wires in how you think and encouraging your brain to think differently, grow differently. I think that you have to be strong enough to go and operate and see things differently than what regular society is asking people or ask people to operate. And this is very much like being out of the box, thinking outside of the box. This is cultivating you to think at a broader level, a different level, and on a level that would allow you to be able to utilize and understand and encounters with them, closer contact with them. But with an Ace of Wands, definitely, I would say that you are already being prepared for it, for that eventuality to become physical, for that eventuality to be something in which you partner with them, for you to have the strength, and this is a little odd, a little weird, for you to have the strength to meet them. I say it's weird because then we come back to this bottom of the deck energy. Three of Swords, Queen of Wands, Emperor, King of Wands, Eight of Cups. This is a little bit like being reformed, a little bit like being crushed, a little bit like being alienated. I have energy here of being alienated, and no pun on, your question. But this is like the the more you move towards meeting them, or let's say after you meet them, it kind of actually doesn't really allow for you to go back into society. You know, there's a forceful separation that's happening. And I do feel in this energy, it could be part of it, they're not what you expected. But another part of it is that where you fit in before wouldn't be able to fit in now. Or excuse me, where you have fit in before, after the encounter, you wouldn't necessarily be able to go back to. There's a cost to it. Changes. There's a cost to alien encounters. You definitely are on their radar. You definitely have a ping, 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 ping. There's changes. Ping, ping, ping. You're marked. In this energy, positive, but as I said, something about the process calls for alienation, separation, independence, a lack of conformity, misunderstanding, a lack to comprehend, and not necessarily with them, perhaps where you'd like to go, what you'd like to have, who you'd like to be, perhaps in the influence you'd like to hold. Things of that nature. Hello. If you're here for the love readings, I did them all at the beginning of the live. You can check out the description to see the order in which they were read. And right now I am offering paid readings. Details of that are in the pinned comment. So let's find out a little bit more about this. Changes. You know, very interesting energy. There is a cost to it. Let's see. I'd almost bring out another deck, but I don't think it's necessary right now. I will say in this energy, ones and twos are relevant. With ones and twos changes, we're talking about partnership and initiating partnership. Who do you engage with changes? And once a touch point is made, changes, you can't take it back. I think that's also here in this energy quite intensely. Once a connection is made, every step forward is a step you can't go back. Is it a direction you really wish to head in? Is this a connection you really wish to nurture? Definitely, though, the only thing I could say overall, it's going to call for a lot of strength. You're already strong already, but this is going to call for a lot more strength. And in that strength, I definitely see more alienation coming your way. I see alienation already in your energy, but I see that growing in some extent, some way. So strength. Strength gets a 6 of Wands. We have some Leo energy. We have some Aries energy coming up here too. I want to say with these energies, this is asking you to be cautious. Maybe the question you should ask yourself changes. Why do you want an alien encounter? Why do you want to have that contact with an extraterrestrial or non-human entity or entities, non-human society? Why are you seeking it? Just because you can. And in this energy, there's already, as I said, mental links, image links, intellectual linkage. There's already a connection happening. Pay attention to what you think, pay attention to what you see, pay attention to where you're guided to go, what you're guided to do. And for a while, all of that is an influence of this. But my question to you would be, changes, why are you seeking connections with aliens? What do you hope to gain from it? Because I have partnership here. I have the strength to go and act on it. I have lots of energy, lots of direction, lots of leadership energy, lots of entrepreneurial, being the first forerunner type of energy. And of course, too, changes the more that you start off a movement, the more that you dissipate and leave from convention. Changes, the more you are different because you're already thinking differently. You have different values. You're going after different things than what everyone else feels comfortable in doing. So, it could be that in this energy, they're precisely been fostering the doorway for this to happen because of your vibrancy and energy as a leader, and perhaps being unbothered to go into directions where other people haven't, or very few people have gone in those directions. But I do think you yourself should ask, why am I seeking this? Why do I feel called to? What do you hope to gain? What do you hope to do with that encounter? And because of that encounter, and that encounter too in this energy is not just a one-off. This isn't someone that you wave at a car on a highway and you don't know who's in that car. That car becomes blended in with several other cars a few seconds later. Right? This isn't like some fast moving boat that you just wave at and it goes, or whatever, car, ship, plane, and then it goes off on its way. Once there's an encounter, it's not just that first initial contact point. You're creating a relationship. It's the first step. This isn't like waving at people about to board an airline that you have no idea who they are, and you'll probably not head to the direction that they're going in, right? This is something completely different. This is creating a relationship. The first stages of a relationship, the first physical touch points and interaction of a relationship, that you're being primed to do so, primed for the strength to occupy in. But I'd like you to think, why do you want to? What do you hope to gain? Because, it's like when somebody knows your address, your home address changes, and they're interested in you, they will come visit again. Let's put it that way. 2 of Pentacles. I have an Ace of Cups, another Ace, another 1, definitely 2s and 1s. The start of relationships. Where do you take the relationship? An encounter, not singular changes. When it starts getting face-to-face or actual words exchange, communication maybe, or encounters as you would describe them, right? Because with language, there's the primary meanings, there's the secondary meanings if you want to get nuanced about it, right? That's where the beauty of language comes into play. The beauty of literature comes into play, is you can say something and it can mean a few things depending upon the context and what kind of words are strung together. So when you say encounter too, one would say in this energy, there's a physical component of it. Ace of Wands gets a Page of Wands. So very rich energy here. Changes. See, we're almost at time too. Changes, I'm going to say, yes, I do see encounters for you. You've already been in contact with them. Pay attention to your thoughts, your feelings, your intuition, and the images you see. That's precisely why they're interested in you. I do feel like they're coming at you because of, or they have been dealing with you because of your ability to lead in certain ways. They want you to have the strength to be able to carry out their message, and also to actually understand how to deal with them. Have maybe the strength even to be in their presence, not necessarily crack, go, right, flip. I do feel like by dealing with the aliens, non-human, blah, blah, whatever, however you want to phrase that, entities, I do feel like that's really going to be a hard cutoff point for several facets of daily life, if that's the right way of saying it. You know, the societies that you've been in, you've already felt yourself looking at it as, do I say boring, non-challenging, infantile, like on a low level, right? Where is the passion? Where is the beauty? Where is the striving for better? You know, things are energies, goals around that. And I just feel like that's going to be really exasperated when exasperated when you actually go and get a more concrete encounter. And that encounter is not going to be a one-off. That encounter is going to be steady. I do see that being a shift to this alien abduction. I don't know. I'm not really getting so much that. I am getting that you will just be very isolated from, do I say normal society, or walking away from that which you are used to. But in doing so, it changes. The reading's actually quite beautiful. New goals, new horizons. Maybe even to the place that you belong in, or the place that you belong in right now. Cultivation changes is in this energy. You know, being selected, and almost like the process of school, the process of itty bitty kiddie school, right? You put them in there, you tell them, oh, don't run around, sit in your chair, raise your hand before you speak, turn in these things at these dates, arrange everything according to this format, and so forth. In this energy changes, you've kind of been a little bit in that schooling phase, that molding phase. Maybe that's why too certain things have lost a lot of appeal that other people would value, but you don't care. It doesn't hold true, substantial, concrete value for you. I see I have 2 minutes left here. Let's see what else I can say here. Changes. As I said, I have heavy 2s and 1s. I also have 6s, surprisingly. Finding a new group, a new way of dealing changes. I do think, well, it's like leaving one group behind and accepting another. Maybe that's what you were born to do, changes. And maybe that's why the path that you've been on and the life where life has taken you so far has, in order for you to truly delineate what is important and what is important, what you want to hold on to, what you want to let go of. For the next group of people that will form your environment. I say people, but that's loosely beings, intelligences, whatever. But in this energy, trust me, changes. Of course, they talk about alien disclosure and lots of things going around that. But this is very physical energy changes. In your face, energy changes. Just as real changes as this plant is in front of me. That's what they will be to you. All right, changes. There is my reading for you. Changes. You can bookmark this reading. I will leave it up for you, this part on the live. Think about it, changes. And after you think about it, let me know. Numbers I definitely would go and consider: 1s, 2s, and 6s. You know, 6s are integration. Also, too, finding parts of harmony, finding balance and harmony. In this context, with the 1s, the 2s, and the 6s, well, as I said, it's cultivation, preparation, formation. Okay, changes. And that's what I have for you. Thank you. And of course, thank you for the support. Does anyone else have any other questions you'd like to explore? I'm open. Can be on anything in particular. This structure is $25 or $50. And of course, if you're curious about the love readings are at the beginning. If you're curious about what I see for the collectives as their love readings, I encourage you to think about your sun sign and your Venus sign. And if there are any other placements you'd like to consider, go right ahead. But for love readings, I would say your sun sign and your Venus sign, or either or, but definitely your Venus. Check it out. And order for that is in the description. If anyone has any other questions, I am here. Taurus. So, Beverly, Taurus readings would probably be the third reading I did. I did the earth signs first. If you click on the description, you can see the whatever it's called, the list that I wrote out. And I do recommend you also check out your Venus. But Taurus would be the third reading, I believe. I believe I did Capricorn. No, actually, it's the second. I think Virgo was the third reading. Anyway, it's listed in there. But yeah, first it was earth signs, then it was air signs. I know somebody was asking me about Libra. Someone who had a purple font. And then there was fire, and then there was water.